Oriire Olowo, good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are, and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I'm Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalawo of Ile-Ife, Orisa. This Ile, the spiritual house, our website, and these video lessons are sanctioned by the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs in Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Ire, abundant blessings to our Egbe, our online community of subscribers that is growing daily. I want to thank you for joining us for another lesson in our video blog series. This particular series is on Ifa Iwa. Remember, as a member of our Egbe, you can support each other's spiritual journey by posting your questions and uplifting comments in the comment section below. You can also email me directly using the link in the description section below if you wish to cover some questions or comments or requests directly to me and not in the public forum. If you're new to these video lessons, we invite you to click on the links below to become a subscriber and member of our Egbe. Also, click the notification button to stay up to date and share this resource with your family, friends, associates, and anyone you feel may benefit from this wisdom. Homage to the one who sends and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. Our topic for this video is Ifa Ritual, Afoshe Divination Part 3, Odu Part 2. We are covering some introductory material from the previous video, just so that whoever jumps in and happens to connect with this particular video knows the context in which this information is being shared. So let me review a few things that I said in the previous video. Each of the 256 Odu Ifa has its own name and its own signature. The signatures of the Odus are based on a binary mathematical system that pervades the African worldview across the entire cultural landscape of the motherland. Our ancestors recognized this binary characteristic of nature as they observed its presence everywhere around them. Examples are day contrasting with night, heaven contrasting with earth, external contrasting with internal, hot contrasting with cold, dry contrasting with moisture, the masculine principle contrasting with feminine, superficial contrasting with deep, individual contrasting with indivisible, rest contrasting with motion, contraction contrasting with expansion. So this binary system makes each signature of the Odu Ifa as unique as your and my personal signatures. You can review our earlier lessons in this series to refresh your memory about the binary system of Odu Ifa. The first step in entering into the world or cosmology of the sacred Odu Ifa and the cultural mindset or perspective of our ancestors is to recognize these unique signatures and the significance of this binary system. That process begins with the names and signatures of the principal, primary, or major Odus, 16 in number, called the Oju Odu. In these next few lessons, this is the second in the set of 4, I will present these Odus in sets of 4 for ease of study and memorization. For each Odu, I'll present the name of the Odu, the cosmological quadrant that it falls in, and again, we've talked about the quadrants, so make sure you go back and review the previous lessons. The esoteric or metaphysical correspondence of the Odu, and a very brief summary of the content character, the quality or energy or fragrance of the message of each of these Odus. So let us proceed. Now we're going into 5 through 8, Odus 5 through 8. The 5th Odu in this set is Irosu Meji. And the 16 that we're covering are called the Meji. A Meji means 2, and so these are the Odus where the signature appears twice, once to the right, once to the left, forming the Meji group. Okay, so Irosu Meji falls in the Otuno poem. It's east, light, positive, masculine, and fire. Irosu Meji speaks of people who are always popular and held in high regard by friends. If Irosu Meji is cast for someone, it says this person should propitiate their Ori and Ifa. It speaks of dealing with emotional and financial difficulties, offering right sacrifices, and refusing to harbor evil thoughts and ideas will lead to success. Irosun is a reference to ancestral lineage, and so this Odu is pointing to the need to have close ancestral ties, to do the ancestral healing work that is necessary for each of us to do. Irosu Meji is one of Shango's Odu. Ori, our head, and its protection is a very important concept in this Odu. If the individual for whom it's cast is married, they should heed, especially if we're talking about a male, they should heed their wife's advice according to Irosu Meji. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. The 6th Odu in the group of Meji, Owonrin Meji. Owonrin Meji falls in Osiopone, which is west. It brings the Ashe of darkness, negative energy, feminine, and water. And remember, when we talk about masculine and feminine, we're not talking about negative energy and positive energy, masculine and feminine, in the context that the energy context that we find in Western culture. Negative and positive are complements of each other, not mutually exclusive opposites. Feminine and masculine are complements of each other, not mutually exclusive opposites. And every male and every female has both masculine and feminine qualities, has both light and darkness, has both positive and negative. We embody the binary mathematics of the universe. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So Owonrin Meji speaks of victory over enemies and false accusations, calls for moderation in all things, predicts money and spouse for one who is poor and single, provided he or she offers the right sacrifices, stresses the importance of Ebo, says that Ebo should be offered to Orisha and Egungun, the spirit of ancestors, but should also feed the people as well. Clearer thinking is required to achieve success. That's an important point about the ebos being used to feed the people. A lot of times when we see images of sacrifices that have been made, we'll see a lot of food and that's been placed at a shrine. But the goal in doing ebo is not the abundance of food. A lot of times that what we see at a shrine that has been offered by different people, different priests have brought different items. That's where the abundance comes in. But ebo is not about feeding. The offerings that we make is not about feeding the appetite of the Orisha or the Egun. It is a symbolic gesture to move the ashe, and food should not be wasted. And so when we make an offering, oftentimes some of that food is going to the Orisha, to Egun, in which case it's going to be to the insects and the animals, the birds that come as messengers of Orisha and Egun to take their part of the food. But the rest of the food, some of the food, is going to be used to feed the people, to feed the community. We'll say more about that probably at a later time. The seventh Odu in the sacred order of Orunmila, Obara Meji. Obara Meji comes or falls in the quadrant of Oriopon, which is north. So it references heaven, masculine energy, positive energy, and the spirit. Obara Meji speaks of the tendency to impulse buying and the problems that that impulse buying may cause. Says the person may be a victim of wishful thinking. It says there may be regrets because of hasty decisions. So you kind of get, the sense that this is a person whose ashe is not settled. Okay, they're not centered. They're not balanced in their daily life. This person must propitiate their ori. Ori inumi mabatodeje. May my spiritual ori not be in conflict with my physical ori. So that saying is talking about the need to bring the spiritual ori and the physical ori into balance. That's saying that would be important for someone for whom Obara Meji is cast. Obara means strength or spirit of strength. This Odu reminds us that human will cannot become stronger than that which created human consciousness. And so the underlying idea there is that we must turn to the source of consciousness in order to fulfill our sacred destiny and our sacred contract with Olorun. Will alone, independent of spiritual power, is not sufficient for us to be successful in the Loja. This Odu contains the story of Shango's transformation into an Orisha. Obara also represents the transformation of the person's consciousness by the fire of Shango. This Odu predicts that poverty and want will be followed by prosperity and happiness if the individual follows the guidance of Ifa and performs the appropriate ebos. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. The eighth Odu in the sacred order of Orunmila is Okanran Meji. Okanran Meji falls in the Eseopon quadrant, the south. It represents earth, brings the energy of earth, brings feminine energy, negative energy. It balances the yin, the yang, with the yin. It balances the positive by bringing in the negative energy. This Odu predicts good fortune, but cautions to beware of enemies. It signifies problems like court cases, suffering, and evil vibrations. Says it's time to compromise in order to mitigate problems. We can't, just put up a front and hold to our position and not be willing to be flexible enough to compromise in order to bring about a solution to a problem. This person for whom this Odu or Kanran Meji is cast, the Odu says this person tends to hit the nail right on the head in actions and speech. So they do have the capacity. It's in their natural gifts to be on point when it comes to their actions and their speech. This person is determined and therefore can sometimes appear aggressive and domineering. The Odu says they tend to be a nonconformist, not so much following the crowd. They will take their own path. They're willing to take their own path, and if need be, to stand alone when it comes to following the will of their Ori. This person must take care of their health as they are infection prone. This Odu calls for sacrifice to Shango and Eshu. It stresses that the heart is from where our emotions emanate and the locus of psychic energy. Let me say that again. The heart is from where our emotions emanate and is the locus of our psychic energy. It points out that the mind is part of the Ori complex. It says that the function of emotions is to tell us when we are either in alignment or out of alignment with our higher self. It reminds us that both the heart and the mind have their own peculiar consciousness. Oh, that is so powerful. Okay, that's so Kanran Meji. So my hope in sharing these synopses, these brief overviews of these Odus, is that in sharing this, you'll get some sense of the depth, the vastness, the breadth of the sacred Odu Ifa, touching on every aspect of human affairs, how the sacred Odu Ifa speak of all of the possible issues that we as human beings might be confronted with on our journey in the Loja. So in our next lesson, we'll discuss the signature of the next 4 sacred Odu, Odus 9 through 12 of the Oju Odu. Remember to click the subscribe button, click the like button if you've enjoyed this video, if you've gotten something from it. When you click that like button, you communicate with YouTube's algorithms to say, when the algorithm sees more people clicking the like button, the algorithm, the artificial intelligence says, oh, okay, more people are responding to this material. Let's give this material more presence on the news feed. So we appreciate you clicking the like button, subscribing to the channel, clicking the notification button, and joining our online Egbe. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ki Olofi-dumare Orisha ate egun fifun eni itona imoye ati opo ire. May Olofi-dumare Orisha and Egun bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbele, peace of mind from Olu-dumare. Ajo lo, ajo bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, ashe, asheo.